I'm thinking my hottest take of the week might be the Pelicans making the finals. The Pelicans will make the finals. I'm sorry to tell you, it is here. They have arrived. The Pelicans can make the finals.
Not if Zatarans and them seafood restaurants got anything to do with it.
Zion will be back from his butt contusion.
And here's the thing, it's like it's not just Zion, bro. All them niggas is eating. You can just tell. Like when it gets colder.
Yeah, CJ got a little big towards
That's
the
what
end
I'm
there,
saying.
yeah.
When it gets colder in New Orleans, like it gets colder in Louisiana, like after Christmas and shit, you can tell they a little more seasoning been on that fish. That's all I'm saying.
No. This is it for them. I mean, that team just looks
You
incredible.
really think so?
The depth, Willie Green, he's got these guys engaged. Zion looks amazing. I'm glad we got the rest tonight. I mean, I'm not glad for my Mavericks, but I am glad to see them beat the Mavericks, who I think is going to be a top 16, no bias. That was very impressive. This team looks incredible, and I mean, we're gonna talk about them today, but yeah, I'm a big Pelican to the NBA guy.
All right.
Yeah.
My first week hot take is Dame for MVP.
What?
Dame for MVP. He dropped 40 twice in the first week. Who does that? And then also, if they can keep up this level of play, especially on defense, if they can keep up this level of play, be a top 5 team in the West, how do you not give a dude carrying that team with no other all-star into the playoffs?
I'm liking what I'm seeing. They haven't played 3 close games out of the 4.
Because I think Dame leads the league in scoring. If he leads the league in scoring, you got to give it to him.
Luka Doncic is going to lead the league in scoring, but I think Dame. I do. I'm gonna
tell Dr. Umar about you, nigga. You and this Luka shit, Dr. Umar. You need to watch the Cap Room, and so do the rest of y'all. Subscribe right now.
Yeah, because he is capping right now on this Dame Lillard stuff, man. Dame for MVP over Ja. Over Ja right now after this first week?
Yes. Dame over Ja. I think Dame's team doesn't have as much talent.
And you're right, but he's going to have to finish top 4.
Yeah.
Top 4 in the West is what he's going to need.
I think he can do it.
All right, man.
Let's start the Cap Room.
Stop the Cap Room, man. All right, man. Oh, my God. This is a brand new edition. This is the first episode of the Cap Room, man. Shout out, man, to everybody here. You got myself. We just finished watching Suns Warriors.
Yes, we did.
Suns Warriors just went off. And it's me and Niles in here. Shout out. What's up, Niles? How you feeling today, man?
I'm feeling good. It's good to be in the Cap Room. Your home for a weekly recap of the NBA. Y'all come back every week. We're going to have hot takes, good takes, and a lot of crazy shit that's going on in the NBA this week.
Yeah, man. And, Tuesday's normally the Adam Lefkoe TNT game. So, right. That's the B team at TNT. And, you know what I mean? We'll recap right after that, or if it's a big NBA TV game, but we'll just be recapping the week here. And, we wanted to get started, man. It's been 7 days since the NBA started, and we already got crazy freaking storylines. Yeah. You as a Lakers fan, where we starting? So I'm gonna just come out the gate and start with our first topic of the day, man.
Yeah.
Is Russ being unfairly scapegoated?
I think so.
Yeah?
I think so. The 0 for 11 game was bad. Don't get me wrong. I think he's being unfairly scapegoated. I will say that. The team's just playing bad in general.
It's a lot of people's fault. It's a lot of people's fault.
Because here's the thing. Name me, what has Patrick Beverley done?
Taking ISO threes.
What has Kendrick Nunn done?
Not nothing.
That's what I'm saying.
Not a bit of nothing.
So it's just like we haven't had good guard play at all. Like, this isn't just on Russ, bro. But I will say this. Kendrick Nunn and Patrick Beverley aren't making $47 million. So it's like...
Yeah, you just expect more.
Right. I think he is being unfairly scapegoated, but it's just like, come on, man. Like, you eating up a lot of the cap here.
Well, let's start backwards, because recently the Portland game, right. At one point they were up 98-90. And being up one,
they had the lead with what, 3 minutes to go?
They had the lead with 30 seconds to go. Up one. Russ takes a jump shot with 19 seconds left on the clock. It's the mid-range shot that Russ would kill you for in 2012, but he's not Chris Paul. It's just not a shot that he continuously makes. So it's just like, all right. And he takes the shot, and everybody's reaction on the floor was just like poor body language. Yeah, and that's been the thing where it's like, that's the first thing I want to start with, the LeBron comments, because he comes out after that game and say, Dave McMenamin, longtime Lakers beat reporter, asks him a question about, hey, how do you feel about just basketball reasons? Trying to, tiptoe around it to ask him, hey, how do you feel about Russ taking that shot? And he calls it out like, hey, I'm not going to do that. But after the first game, he literally called everybody out like, this is a team with not a lot of shooting, as opposed to Juan Toscano-Anderson's post-game with his presser at the locker and going, nah, we going to keep shooting just like he tell me. And that was more encouraging than the LeBron thing, because LeBron's the king of the sneak this, and it does hurt morale.
I didn't like that LeBron said that, because we all know the Lakers can't shoot.
Right.
You know the Lakers can't shoot because you the GM.
You put this team together.
You put this shit together, nigga. Yeah. Like, you put the ingredients together and cook the meal. The food tastes bad. That's on you, bro. And so it's just like one of these things is, it feels like he's doing this thing where it's like, all right, well, if we lose, I told y'all why, because these niggas can't shoot when I pass on the ball. That's just not good leadership.
He takes the blame off him all the time. Like, exactly. It ain't me. But he's out there playing lackluster. He's taking fuck you threes from the 30 in game 3. Like, what are we doing? You're not engaged.
That airball 3 was just like that. I feel like that took the air out the building, man.
They're one of the worst offensive teams. They are
the worst.
They are 30th in offensive rating. But I think I guess the promising thing, even after today, they're still second in defensive rating. So you're thinking like,
this couldn't be a good team.
Right. So do you think it's addition by subtraction? As a Mavs guy, losing Porzingis last year, I thought it was tough at first, but I think by the end of the year, it was almost addition by subtraction. And then Dinwiddie, Bertans had a big playoff game. It was just like an overall thing. Like, is there still a trade out there? Is there a buyout? He was listed as doubtful for tomorrow's game.
Yeah.
I'm already worried, like, was that his last game for the Lakers after all of the media attention that it's getting? It's the second biggest media market. It's going to continue as long as he's on the floor and they're not winning. Like, when's the first win come?
That's what I wanted to ask. When do you think the Lakers will get their first win? For instance, like, I want to show you.
You got the Lakers schedule pulled up?
The next stretch of games they had. Let me pull it up. It's like as you say, it's nasty work.
Nasty work as always, yeah.
So, my Western Conference dark horse, the Nuggets, they play tomorrow night. Then Friday they play the T-Wolves. Then they play the Nuggets again on Sunday. So the next 3 games they have are not easy. And then they start November with one of your teams you're high on right now, the Pelicans, on the 2nd. Then they go to Utah on the 4th, and Utah's playing a lot better than I thought they would.
Utah's playing incredible.
I thought these niggas was gonna be in the Wembanyama sweepstakes.
Yeah, I mean they are. We're gonna get to that later. But
yeah, but it's like they started off hot.
Yeah, and that's always the story at the beginning of the year with any team that's tanking. They're gonna try hard to see them first 10, 15 games,
right?
How good their young guys are. You know, so it's that. But that is gonna be a tough game still in November.
And then they have an Eastern Conference matchup with the Cavs on the 6th. So that first week in November, they're not playing any easy games. So it's just like, could we see the Lakers go like 0-8 to start the season off? And here's the thing, and this is a question I had, like, do you see a team kind of being like the Pelicans last year, where the Pelicans started 1-12 and then flipped it around and became like a bubble, like a play-in bubble type team? But like, do the Lakers have it in them to have such a poor start but maybe turn it around? Or I don't see it. I think this is going to be a bad season. I don't think a trade's going to happen. I think that's just going to be cap space that gets lifted off at the end of the season. I think they just got to, take it.
I think, yeah.
I just don't really see anybody being like, sure, we'll help you guys out.
Yeah.
Why?
I think we're going to wrap it up on this. We are at the 5-minute mark for our topic, but I do. LeBron and AD on any team should be able to carry this team too, but they don't have a lot of margin for error. But anybody's low floor to high ceiling, anybody with a wider margin than this team and the Nets, which we'll get to later, I think it's them with LeBron and AD. I think even and we'll talk about that later, minus their piece in Brooklyn. I think they're a better team than just.
I think the Brooklyn Nets are way better than the Lakers.
Yeah, but even if both have a big problem right now going on early, and I feel like
Ben's their problem, Russ is the Lakers' problem.
Right.
That's what you're saying.
I think both of them, minus their problems, are a better team.
I agree.
Yeah.
But it's just like sending a nigga home is crazy.
Sending Russell Westbrook, a former MVP, multiple-time All-Star, home will be incredibly crazy. But at this point, the media hoopla gotten out of control. And as Kevin O'Connor put it, Russell Westbrook is a washed-up bricklayer, and he has to be traded immediately.
That's awful.
To save the Lakers season.
I can't let somebody talk about Russ like that, man.
And I mean, Russ, as I said off camera, KLC is a great reporter. He's vouched for Russ a million times. But at this point, it's like Darvin Ham was hired to be the harsh reality coach. I'm not going to take no shit. I'll stand up to Russell Westbrook, and it hasn't been that. Bench him. And now tomorrow he's going to be out, so we'll see how that goes. But moving on.
So y'all comment in the comments, where do you think the Lakers get their first win? Or do you think Russ gets traded in the next month or so? Let us know what you think.
Yeah, because they said 20 games. I don't think they can wait. That puts them at the end of November, right after Thanksgiving. So it's just like, oh, can you wait that long? Yeah. So We'll see. But all right, moving on. I mean, the Lakers played a team on Sunday that seems motivated. They are now 4-0 after their Monday blowout win, 25-point win against the Nuggets. Portland Trailblazers. Now, I got to ask you, is Dame Dollar back, man? Is it Dame time again?
He never left, man. I think with that team, it's always been what fits around him.
Ooh.
I don't think Dame hasn't had a bad season, and you know what I'm saying? Like
he's only missed the playoffs his rookie year when he was playing. That's the only time he's missed the playoffs.
Exactly. And the times where they didn't make it that far in the playoffs, he was battling injuries and everything. But they look good. That's one thing I want to ask. Is Anthony the real deal?
Anthony Simons looks like $100 million man. 29 points the other night in that Nugget game. 22 in the third. Yeah. He shot 7 of 12 from 3. He looked amazing. I questioned, though, couldn't he keep it going? Because before that, it is a small sample size, but before that, was shooting 20% from the 3, 5 of 24 on the season before that game. But this team just looks incredible. Like, you talked about the lineup fits. Like, they surrounded Dame with a great team, and if they knew Anthony was going to take the jump, this looks great because this is without Gary Payton II, one of the big acquisitions.
Exactly.
So, yeah, and Jeremy Grant just looks great next to these guys. They got a bunch of athletes, like they're third in fast break points this year, and it looks like it. They're getting out and running in transition, and Dame is trusting Anthony. He's taking clutch late shots, and we saw it again in that third quarter against the Lakers in that comeback. Like, oh, this guy could be incredible for them, and the CJ trade might pay off.
Yeah, I definitely think it's paying off. I mean, I think the Pelicans, that was a trade where the Pelicans and the Blazers both won.
Yeah.
I feel like. Because, this Portland team looks really good. They've overperformed before, but I'd like to see where they're at. I don't think they're a finals contender in any way.
No, but do you think a lot of people didn't even have them as a play-in team,
right?
And so it's hurting your Lakers that this team is even getting better and already starting off 4-0.
I had the Blazers bottom of the barrel like 7 or 8.
Yeah,
but now I'm thinking 4 or 5 maybe.
I didn't have them in my 10, so I gotta admit.
Damn, so you didn't even have them in the playoffs
at
all.
Even when we did the mock pod, it was just like, oh my God, but like I should have known. Like as much basketball I've been watching preparing for this, it's like Shaedon Sharpe looks amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, he's an athletic monster. Like the LeBron alley-oop, the preseason dunk, like on the Warriors, he just looks amazing. They've been bringing him off the bench a couple times first. I mean, I know GP's out, but oh my God, Shaedon Sharpe looks amazing on this team. It's just like, I mean, the sky's the limit. They're right now, small sample size, but top 10 in defense and offensive rating.
I think they make the playoffs if they can keep the defense up.
Yeah,
the
defense is crucial.
Dame is one of those guys. He's gonna get you the bucket you need at any time. So with that, I don't doubt him at all. I just think it's the other 4 guys. Do they buy in? Do they play defense? Do they rebound? And do they make open shots?
I think they do. That's one of the best parts, the Jeremy Grant part of this, of like he was just in Detroit being the lead guy.
I thought that was a very good pickup.
Yeah, and he comes in and he just looks like a great utility guy.
Exactly.
He looks like, I can play third, fourth fiddle.
That's the thing, because Jeremy Grant was putting up really good numbers for Detroit as that first option, but that's not going to be a team that wins.
Right. Taking 20 shots.
That guy being your third option, that's tough.
Yes.
So
yes,
and for a guy like that who can kind of do it all, go to the rim, he can shoot, he can post up a little bit. He's very athletic. I just think that was a guy for Dame to be paired with is kind of perfect in a way.
Him, Hart, Justice Winslow. He didn't play in that Laker game, but Justice Winslow. Nasir Little even looks really good. This team is very exciting, and I just want to see more Portland. I don't think it's too early to say they've beaten some really good teams.
Yeah,
so it's just like
that's the thing. The first 3 games they won, very close games, and so that showed that they can play really well in those last 2 minutes. Mm-hmm. But then also just to blow out a team like Denver is.
Yeah, and Denver's going to be good, and we'll talk about them later. But
right.
yeah, all right.
Y'all comment. Are the Blazers and Anthony Simons the real deal? Shall we believe that they're going to be a playoff team? Let us know what you think.
Yeah, Anthony, he could be in most improved running right now.
Easy.
All right, so another young team that I wanted to ask you about, they just beat my Mavericks earlier by 2 without Zion, without Brandon Ingram on the floor. Can the Pelicans make the finals? Is that too much of an overreaction a weekend? This Pelicans team,
is that the week 1 hot take?
I might be. Is that cap of the week? But we'll get there. But the Pelicans look amazing. This team has already just started off hot, 3-1.
When you start getting production from guys that I didn't even know who they were before the season starts, this guy Trey Murphy III goes 4 for 4 from 3.
Can we talk? I got it written down. How good can Trey Murphy be? He doesn't miss. In the first 4 games, he's shooting lights out from 3.
He's going to continue to get those opportunities, though.
Yes.
McCollum is dangerous off the dribble. We know Zion is dangerous off the dribble. And then Brandon Ingram commands, too, if he gets the ball in the block at all. So it's just like, for a guy like Trey Murphy III, this dude is really going to get paid if he continues to make this shot like this. Because he's going to continue to get those opportunities. And I don't think they're a finals team. I think they're a deep playoff run team that's going to scare people. But, if a guy like that can stretch the floor for them and keep making shots like that, the sky's kind of the limit because now you can't play so tight on Zion going to the rim. You can't play so tight on Brandon Ingram when he gets the ball on the wing. So, that and CJ McCollum's such a good passer. Trey Murphy is a godsend.
We'll get to CJ's playmaking, but Trey Murphy just looks amazing. He's shooting – it's only a small sample size right now. He's shooting 75% from 3 right now.
And then you got all these light-skinned niggas on the Pelicans that hustle, bro. Jose Alvarado is just – he got better.
Look, can we talk about Alvarado and Herb Jones real quick? I think defensively, those two right there, Alvarado off the bench, Herb Jones in this lineup, he looks like the perfect glue guy.
Yeah.
He is just he is amazing.
And then this Dyson Daniels guy is making big plays. Jackson Hayes protecting the rim. They got a lot of light-skinned dudes that's playing hard. That's what this team is. And then Valanciunas had a 30-17 game this week.
Yes, he did.
I don't want to overreact, but it's like –
Valanciunas has always been that good, even when he was in Memphis.
That's what I'm saying. I was telling somebody, I really think he's one of those players that just kind of had to learn the NBA. He was good at basketball, but he had to learn the NBA. He had to learn the pacing of the NBA and kind of how it works and things like that. And I think he really grew into his body as well. So these last couple seasons, I'm very surprised. But, he is a legit go-to on this team. He can score.
He's the fourth option for sure.
And so he's a dangerous fourth option, man.
Even with him, there was a lot of Larry Nance talk about him in that closing lineup with him, CJ, and Herb. But that's why I thought of
that's a good problem to have, though.
Yeah, but that's why I thought so high of Trey Murphy. Can Trey Murphy close games for this Pelicans team, make them a big, even rangier wing team with Herb, with Brandon Ingram, with Trey Murphy? That wingspan and that 2 through 4 would be incredible with Zion and CJ on the floor.
To beat this team, to beat the Mavericks where Luka drops how many? 37, and you don't even have Zion?
Yeah.
That's scary.
That's very scary, and that's why I thought so crazy of him. I was just like, oh, this is wow. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
He had 22 points
No
tonight.
Zion, no Brandon, and they win a close game against a Western Conference team that I was pretty high on going into this year.
Real quick on the Brandon Ingram praise before we wrap this up, because this team's third in offensive rating, but Brandon Ingram came out the gate playing all NBA ball. The first 2 games, he was averaging 28, 8, and 6 on 50%.
Yeah.
And before he got hurt with the concussion, 10 points, 10 minutes, 4 or 5 shooting.
Ooh.
He was incredible. Brandon Ingram looks like he's on a mission, and I kind of like them thinking if B.I.'s the first option and Zion is our, you never know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I think B.I. got a taste of that all-star selection. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, oh, I like this being distinguished like this. I like this. Mm-hmm. And so I think he's proven that. I think he's the type of guy that wants to prove the Lakers made the wrong choice.
Yes. Yeah.
And as a Laker fan, we did make the wrong choice.
Yeah.
We dropped off the wrong light-skinned nigga.
Yeah. I think none of the light-skinned bros had to go. But, you know what I mean? That's you live and you learn. If CJ playmaker is going to continue to be on this level, then I think this team, the sky's the limit.
Getting CJ to the Pelicans is one of the best moves ever.
Yeah.
20 points, 11 assists, only 3 turnovers. Great guard.
Great pickup, and it's just paying off. This team has so many good players, and I'm excited to see the Pelicans.
I think the highest they go is 3rd in the West.
3rd in the West. Who has to come out of that? Because we're talking about Blazers and we're talking Pelicans. Where's the Lakers fit in this?
The Lakers don't make the playoffs.
All right, we'll get to cap of the week, but we got to keep the show rolling.
Yeah. Y'all comment right here. Do the Pelicans make the finals or not? Okay. I say no.
Okay.
Y'all tell me what y'all think.
Western Conference Finals. All right.
Maybe.
All right. So I think we've waited too long to talk about this one. Ben Simmons and Brooklyn Nets. Is Ben Simmons able to recover from this, I guess, mental strain that is carried on for 2 seasons?
Bro, I'm so tired of talking about this nigga, man. Because I like Ben Simmons, bro. And, like, this shit is like, that foul he committed on Ja at the end was just like, do you care? No.
The 2 foul outs, and I think it's been 4 games. And I had to look it up. It's he has 14 fouls and 17 points.
That's crazy. I be watching Ben Simmons play basketball. Like, this is how the girls in college used to talk to me. Niles, do you even care about this anymore? Do you want us to work? That's how I be looking at Ben, bro. Do you care about us, nigga?
Yeah. And this team is 7th in offensive rating, like, because KD and Kyrie, in that Grizzlies game, Kyrie went crazy. 37
they both did.
Points. Yeah.
I never thought I'd see a game where Desmond Bane and Ja Morant outscore KD and Kyrie.
As a Mavericks fan, you know, we are the Grizzlies kryptonite. And just to see Desmond Bane torch these guys was just like
38.
38? I get 38 from Ja is expected.
Of course.
But a Desmond Bane almost 40 piece? No. This team is dead they are dead last in defense as well. Let me make sure I'm correct on that. This team is terrible. They can't guard a soul. Ben Simmons, he doesn't even look engaged on defense. The defense that we were promised on Ben Simmons doesn't at all look right. Brooklyn Nets are dead last in defense.
And that's the thing. If you're going to beat a triple single, nigga, you better be locking somebody the fuck up.
The hype of Ben Simmons is that he's this athletic super Draymond. That was the 15, 10, and 8 guy first year.
He was that guy, though.
That's the guy that took Donovan Mitchell's Rookie of the Year.
Right.
This guy now, I think, oh my God.
You can't. It's crazy how that was a big thing, and now you wouldn't even mention Donovan Mitchell and Ben Simmons in the same sentence. Isn't that crazy?
I'm not giving up that haul. I'm not giving up Laurie Marketing for. We'll get to Laurie, but I'm not giving up Laurie Jordan.
Call this nigga Laurie Jordan.
We'll get there, but I'm not giving up that for Ben Simmons at this point.
And the crazy thing is, it's like KD and Kyrie shot the ball great. KD shot 70% from the field against the Grizzlies. Kyrie shot 58%. And 37 apiece, and that wasn't enough.
No, I think. And it's not just Ben. Even when Ben's off the floor, they're not playing great defense.
All Ben Simmons has to do is play okay, and they win that game.
Yeah, and I think that's why they win the Raptors game. there's going to be games they pull out, but if Ben's not going to be aggressive looking for a shot, if the defense isn't there that we were promising the transition playmaking, it's like, what is he?
And this is something people were talking about on Twitter is just like, all right, the way the offense is running right now has to change. You can't run it through Ben Simmons anymore. So either you play this dude at center or we got to figure something else out. Because, my guy, if you're gonna run this point forward thing, the point forward works because you're a bigger guy handling the ball and you're a threat to score as well. If you finish the game, if you play 28 minutes and you finish the game 2 for 5, why are we running the ball through you? Because that's the thing, you only tried 5 times.
Right. Was the offensive initiation at? Because right now we're getting 6, 6, and 6, so that's bad.
That's bad. And it's like, bro, he was plus minus, and I'm not a big plus minus guy.
Right.
But negative 16?
Yeah. And I mean, sometimes plus minus can be right. When you're on the floor, it's just like the on-off ratings with him, KD, and Kyrie are bad.
I don't know. They didn't start Joe Harris. I would rather just start Joe Harris and go smaller and bring Ben Simmons off the bench or something. Because it's just like, at least Joe Harris is going to spread the floor for you, and he will shoot the ball when passed to. But if I'm on the defense and I know all this dude is going to do is dribble up at the top of the key and then wait for Kyrie to come up on the screen and flip it to him, you're basically playing – I have 5 defenders and you have 4 people on offense. Yeah. We're playing 5-on-4 on you niggas. Yeah. So it's just like you're useless.
Reducing the floor. It's the same problem the Lakers are having right now with Russ. So it's just like either I think he can become more engaged. Yeah. I think it is still a long haul from that offseason. It's been a long time to get him back. It has been 2 seasons basically now. So getting him adjusted into the offense.
At least get to the free throw line a bunch. Something.
I mean, and he hasn't done that since his rookie year. So it's just like the level of aggression we need.
If you're not going to take that many shots, you got to at least be able to spread the floor. Like Patty Mills went 2 for 4, right? But when Patty Mills is on the floor, you have to respect whatever corner he's in.
Right. Yeah, I mean, the spacing is everything. If we can't space, KD and Kyrie can't even operate. This great offense can't succeed, and nothing comes of this. So the spacer, the playmaking, everything has to – he has to ramp it up. You know what I mean? We just have to see a little bit more effort,
and this is another situation with – I don't think they could trade this guy if they wanted to.
No. This is the team.
So they have to figure out how to make this work.
I guess the closing remarks is KD was right. Did he see the future with this team? Because they are still missing Steph Curry and TJ Warren, but it isn't like those are defensive merchants that's gonna come in and help this team out to fix all their problems. So we'll see.
The Brooklyn Nets need some niggas with black Air Force Ones, bro.
Yeah, they need Patrick Beverly.
They need that type of energy.
Yeah, Patrick Beverly type energy will be nice on this team. They do need an enforcer. All right, look, can we move on to Ben Simmons' former team, because we were both high on them.
I still am though.
Finals predictions. I think I'm not worried. I'll get to that, but can we say what the hell is wrong with the Sixers? 1-3 to start. Embiid is out of shape, and he had a foot injury over the summer. Right. The plantar fasciitis. But he does look sluggish, and Doc's rotations look all out of whack. This is bad.
Yeah, Joel's not in shape. I think they're a type of team where slow start, and they have a Boston-type turnaround after the All-Star break. I think there's a lot of new additions to this team. Yeah, James got added pretty late in the season last year, and like you said, the rotations aren't great yet because I think they're still just trying to gel. But there are some bright spots there. They just added PJ Tucker, trying to see how that works and everything. But yeah, it's gonna take a while.
Yeah. Daniel House hasn't looked good from 3. No. So it's just like I would like to see more Matisse. I think the idea of getting DeAnthony Melton and Daniel House was like, oh, we could play less of him with PJ because he can't do anything offensively. But defensively, with Joel still trying to, I guess, play himself into shape. Yeah. We need something defensively, and that's where the Trez's look bad. It's just like, Sixers fans, I think they want Paul Reed, so it's just like, hey, Doc, a lot of this is on Doc, but you mentioned Harden.
Mm-hmm.
Harden looks good.
Yeah.
Harden might be back. I'm not worried about Harden because
he's back for sure. It's just, is he gonna stay healthy? And he looks in shape.
He does. He looks in shape and motivated. 27, 9, and 10 so far, 49% from the field.
Right.
He had the 12 free throw game to start us out, and if he's gonna get to the line like that again, it's just like, oh well. I guess I can wait on this team to Embiid to play himself back in the shape.
That's what I'm saying.
Figure the rotation.
They're one of the few teams I think can have a bad start and still end up where they want to be in May, June. You know what I'm saying? These other teams, I don't think they have the talent nor the depth to have a bad start.
Right.
They can start under 500 and be a good team in the playoffs, I feel like.
I agree. I think they can still get home court advantage. Still have them as a top 3 seed in the East. We'll get to the Bucks later, but I still have them as a top 3 team in the East, and I'm not too worried about the.
What do you think it's gonna take besides Embiid being in shape? That's number one. What else do you think it's gonna take for this team to turn it around?
I think they have to lock in defensively. Doc figuring out those rotations, whether it's going to be Melton closing or – because I talked about Tobias closing after we watched that first game against Boston, and I was just not a fan of Tobias closing. Like, I appreciate what Tobias can add as a fourth option, but figuring out exactly how we're going to use Maxey. Is we going to get him in space? What lineups we're going to run with him? Is it going to be him and Embiid and Harden on the second unit? Harden always looks great on the second unit. There's no second unit defense that can guard this James Harden, so it's just like, I just think figuring those rotations out and them locking in defensively and Maxey and that closing lineup, it's a few things, but it's a long season. So
figuring out how to utilize Maxey, I think, is the key, because I think you don't want to get him into this where he's just the third fiddle to Embiid and James. Like, I think there needs to be a way for him to really find his identity offensively.
Yes.
Whether that's having the ball in his hands more with the second unit. Yeah. Or I just don't think he's this guy that just needs to be spotting up in the first unit all the time.
No, not at all. But that is the role of a third option, though. Like, a third option does have to be able to sacrifice, but it's about that, I guess, rhythm of getting him going offensively where it's enough plays ran from him, enough pick and rolls, and there haven't been enough pick and rolls ran from Maxey. And it's just like, all right, we got to get this young guy going because on some nights he could be our second best player.
Exactly.
And we need that type of spark if Embiid's going to start slow, because if Harden's this locked in, I'm still confident in my finals.
And the thing is, even with Embiid, him and James are averaging the same amount of points.
Yeah. No. Embiid's going to get to the line. He is a free throw merchant. He is prime Harden with the free throws. So, like, Embiid's locked in. And if Embiid gets locked in with Harden, the way Harden's engaged, it's a dangerous team.
Joel, stop shooting them goddamn three-pointers, nigga.
Post up. I mean, but he's too tired to post up. Shooting three. That's the LeBron thing, taking 9 threes a game.
That's just lazy. But it's like, bro, if you're shooting 21% from 3, you're wasting possessions.
Yes.
You're wasting possessions. And so it's just like this kind of team, it's just like if the best player is just wasting possessions like this, but still scoring 27 points, that's a lot of usage out of this one guy where it's not efficient. So it's like those just jacking up those threes, that could be a play where we run for Maxey on the corner, some shit like that. So it's just like Joel's got to stop shooting these threes, bro. 21% is gross.
Yeah.
That's just lazy. You're the biggest dude on the floor. You shouldn't be shooting 20% from the three-point line. No one in the league can guard him.
No, not in the post. Not in the post. And that's what he always has to take advantage of. And if he's in shape, I think he's more engaged to do that. So it's just like, we'll see if he plays his way into shape.
Right. Y'all let us know. Y'all think the Sixers are going to be a contender at the end of the season or no? Let us know. I think they are. I think they'll turn it around.
Yeah. I think everybody was high on them as a regular season team, but we were very high on them as like, oh, this team could kind of
I think they'll go to the I think they go to the finals.
Yeah. And we'll talk about the real finals contender in a little bit. But all right. So you had text me, is the Timberwolves experiment going to work? And it made me think of, because this team, the Timberwolves team, reminds me of your Western Conference Finals pick, the Nuggets, and it made me want to ask you, are you more worried about the Timberwolves or the Nuggets?
The Nuggets have been deep in the playoffs before with this core, so I'm not really worried about them.
Okay.
Light-skinned Jamal is just going to need a little time. Because, like, that's the other thing. It's like you have this very bad injury, and you come back from the injury, you got to get in shape. And really the only way to get in shape for NBA basketball is to play NBA basketball. So I think his body, his mind, his skills are they're coming back. You know, it's going to take a while. Like Jokic even joked, like, Jamal's going to be bad for the first 20 games.
He did.
And so it's just like, but that dude is so good. Like, I just see the Nuggets could be a team that may be below that top 4 that could be a sneaky team in the playoffs in the West on the Western side, because when Jamal Murray's healthy, that team is so – I mean, they're good. They were good with just Jokic kind of running the show.
No, that's for sure.
And so the way he can get guys involved and pass and things like that, I don't think there's anyone on the Timberwolves more talented than Jamal Murray and Jokic.
And we'll get to Ant-Man in a second, because I do think Ant-Man is more talented than both of those guys right now.
Really?
Constituted after the injury.
As far as production goes, though.
I mean, Michael Porter has looked
everybody
knows I'm a Rico Hines eye test guy. If you don't look good in Rico, I'm just like, but it has looked bad, and both offensive look clunky, Timberwolves and these, but I am agreeing with you. I think Jamal Murray can get integrated faster into this offense because Jokic is there.
I think this might be the year Michael Porter Jr. picks it up.
Where I'm very worried about this team is defensively. I think me and you
they've never been that great on defense.
Yeah, me and you were both high on Bruce Brown and KCP, and neither one of them are Ron Artest, but they are great defensive pieces to add around the team when you lose a guy like Will Barton. And Jokic he's become fair on defense, but it's not to say he is Hakeem Olajuwon either. So It's just like, all right, if this team's 28th on defense, small sample size, it's just like, I'm worried about them. They are middle of the pack offensive rating, right?
Yeah, letting the Blazers score 135 was not encouraging.
No, and that's the thing. They came out the gate and they had that bad Jazz game, and I guess we can get to the Jazz in a little bit too. But yeah, they had that bad Jazz game to start it out where Jazz kind of ran them off the floor. That wasn't even a contest at the end, and these guys were trying Jokic, putting them in pick and roll, and that's common for the guy with the highest uses on the team to get stuff ran at him. But this team I think I'm more on your side with this. I think I am more worried about the Timberwolves because, especially after the Karl Anthony Towns Popeye comment, I am not.
Bruh, he said Ant can't do back-to-backs because he be eating too much Popeyes and shit.
He's that 5-piece spicy's fucking Ant up. And can I tangent real quick? What's your go-to at Popeyes now? So what is your go-to?
I gotta get the spicy.
Okay, spicy.
You already know.
Yeah, no, I'm still a sandwich fanatic. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Are they still good?
Come on, man. I mean, not as good as the original recipe.
I ain't had a Popeyes chicken sandwich in a minute, but that two piece and a biscuit.
And Anthony Edwards hasn't played a good big back-to-back in a minute. I mean, Ant-Man, he blamed that last loss on himself. I mean, rightfully so. I mean, he's looked sluggish. He does look a little tubby in the tummy. But Ant-Man, I mean, Rudy Gobert, I think after the first game, everybody went, he's as good as advertised, and it's still a small sample size, but they're letting up. They're 20th in points in the paint, and that's where Rudy Gobert's supposed to be the best at, avoiding shots at the rim.
I think both of these teams make the playoffs.
You still think Timberwolves is a top 8 team?
I think they're 8. I think the Timberwolves are talented enough to make the playoffs, but I think the Gobert addition was overrated. I do.
Yeah, I think they gave up a lot, and we're going to talk about Vanderbilt later and some of the pieces they gave up. But
I like this one guy though. I might be pronouncing his last name. Is it Josh? Is it Jay Noel? Josh Noel.
It's Noel. Noel. Yeah, the guard. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a bright spot for them off the bench, because that's the other thing. I just don't think this team is like super deep like that. But I think he's a guy that surprised me with his production he can bring off the bench. Because I don't believe in Taurean Prince.
I think Taurean Prince is a good ninth guy, but I think my bigger worry is the defense I think the defense, well, not the defense, but the defense are paying out. But Karl Anthony Towns figuring himself out in this
Playing
offense.
the 4.
Yeah, because it does look clunky. It's like hard for him to get his shot. He's like trying to figure out, well, how do I space the floor? Right. How do I get my shot? I see how Anthony Edwards can become very efficient in this type of offense. Yeah. But it's like, how many games can we close with Gobert? Like that's going to come down to it.
Because like they lost this game. They lost this close game to the Jazz by 6.
Yep.
And it's like Towns went 9 for 25. Mm-hmm. That's gross. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, and the reason we brought this other big here is to take some heat off of you in the paint. So now whoever's guarding you might have a better matchup or something like that. So it's just like he's gonna have to play way more efficiently.
Yes.
I'm not worried. Like I'm not worried about Anthony Edwards at all. I think that production is gonna be there. Like we said, he got to lay off on the spicy. But
yeah, he's a young guy.
It's gonna be on Karl Anthony Towns for, you say you're the best shooting big man. Let's see it. They need him to be more efficient, and of course, D'Angelo Russell.
I was just about to ask about him.
Has to play defense.
Is there, before we move on from this, is there a world where Anthony Edwards is not on his team by April?
What?
Not Anthony Edwards. Sorry.
Oh, I was about to say.
That was a better hot take than I had.
Yeah, I was going to say. D'Angelo Russell,
is there a world where
Mr. Snapchat not being on the team?
Yeah, is there a world where he isn't on this team by April? Is there a better playmaker? Is there something that can make this Gobert, Towns, Edwards fit a little bit better? Because he is in his last year, though.
I don't know. I mean, I would. Well, that's the thing. I don't know. What's Gobert's contract looking like? Do you know?
I mean, Gobert's locked in. Gobert's locked in for another few years.
I'd trade him over Russell.
Wow, you'll keep D'Lo, the clunky D'Lo. At that number, though, $27 million a year is what D'Lo's contract is. So
I just think you could get a nice haul for Gobert.
I mean, yes, Gobert on a different team does look motivated. I mean, giving him more shot opportunities is, you know what I mean? But wow. I'm still big on getting D'Lo out there and getting a real
playoff time. Do you really think you're going to play a 7-game series with Towns and Gobert on the court at the same time, finishing games and shit?
I wouldn't like it if they did. I wouldn't.
There's no way in hell that's working. There's no way. That's so slow. That's not like it's just not gonna happen. And it's just like if Rudy Gobert had more of a touch around the rim, like I could see them running a half court offense with the two of them late in games and shit like that. But he doesn't have it. He's fine when it comes to finishing. In fact, it's like a big deal when he does finish with contact and shit. People go absolutely crazy because it's like, oh, this French nigga don't usually do this.
and that's the big Shaq criticism. How have you worked on your game? And to answer your question, Rudy's 5-year, $200 million deal where he makes $40 million a year kicked in last season. Woo. So he's locked in with this Timberwolves team.
Okay, it's not Josh Noel, it's Jalen Noel. I apologize.
Jalen Noel. Sorry, Jalen Noel. You made some big shots.
He's playing really good. So I mean, hey, if they have a guy like Jalen Noel that is maybe taking the next step, maybe you could see Russell get traded. Mm-hmm. But I'd have to see more from him. And then it's like you got Austin Rivers on this team who's almost non-existent.
Austin Rivers, I thought he was out of the league, but he is a Timberwolf.
Damn.
All right. So moving on, we got a couple topics before we get to our cap of the week. But moving on, I want to talk about some excitement in the league, some fresh blood, some fresh young blood. This has been I think a really great draft, and I think we got to start out the top because Paolo should have been number one the whole time. There shouldn't have been any Chet Jabari talk. Paolo looks like a man amongst boys out there, man. How much Paolo Banchero have you watched?
I've seen the highlights of him. That dunk was, I mean, that's one of those dudes like you create on 2K. You know what I'm saying? The size, the speed, the creativity on offense is one of the biggest surprises to me. Because I think in college he didn't really get the opportunity to be as creative with the ball because of like the system he played in college. So it's just very interesting to see like, this dude has a bag.
Yes.
Like he can.
He's a certified bucket getter. He looks like the cornerstone of this Magic franchise.
I'm sad for those of us without NBA League Pass. We won't be ever watching him. Yeah. Because who the fuck is going to watch the Orlando Magic?
I mean, the Magic actually do look good. I mean, they look like they have the cornerstones of their franchise. Paolo, Franz, they're running pick and rolls for these guys. I like their big three. I wish they had a playmaker.
Big three.
Paolo, yeah, I mean.
These niggas got a medium three.
Medium three, man. Ever. Wendell, Franz, Paolo. This team looks incredible, and I want Ball to get more minutes. Cut Mo Bamba. Mo Bamba needs to be sent home for Ball. 20 points in 20 minutes. I'm a big fan of that.
I'm not going to let you pit two dark-skinned kings against each other like that.
Two dark-skinned African brothers. I won't do it, man. Mo Bamba, what'd you say? It's a great song.
It's a great song.
Great song. But Paolo, certified bucket getter. When I first heard about him last year, he was advertised as like 6'10" Carmelo before people start going, oh, he's Rashard Lewis. And I'm like, oh, he's a way better playmaker than I even thought he was. He might be the best playmaker on this team, actually. And he easily gets to his spots. Like, I'm excited. I'm with you. I think this might be now my number one league pass team as much as I like Cade and Jaden Ivey. So,
you watch the Magic over the Pistons?
Oh my God, I'm watching a lot of Magic now because they're playing good. They're playing against the Celtics. They've had some really good matchups so far out the gate. So, well, that leads me to my question. We talked about Paolo. Who's the best rookie you've seen so far?
Benedict Mathurin, bro.
Oh man,
that's my nigga, bro.
You like Mathurin?
He's averaging 22 and 6.
Yeah, I mean he's gonna get that value.
It's the first week. It's the first week, but bro, dude, I mean they're 1-4. No,
yeah,
he ain't winning games, but it's like. Dude can play.
Yeah.
I mean, offensively, I like Paolo, but I just don't think he's better than this guy offensively.
I think Paolo's going to be 25, 5 and 5. Like his first game out
this year.
I think he can be. He's getting the volume. He's getting the shots. And as much as Benedict Mathurin's going to get those shots up in that volume, I think Paolo is the guy already in Orlando. We've seen it, and they trust him. I just like Paolo a lot bit more. I think Paolo sticks out from his class as good as Benedict Mathurin's been, as much as anybody. Like a friend of mine texted me, should people have been tanking for Paolo the same way they're tanking for Victor Wembanyama? Because he looks like just the real deal. He already looks 28, 27. He looks like he's in the prime right now.
They're both averaging 22.8. So Paolo is averaging 22 and 7. And Mathurin's averaging 22 and 6. So this is gonna be a fun rookie of the year race. I think. I got my money on Mathurin though. Yeah. I think they're both 1-4. That's hilarious. I just think Mathurin has more of the chip on his shoulder.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, you're taking sixth, but it's just like everybody's talking about Paolo, which I think that's gonna motivate him to really do his thing. And if a Buddy Hield and Miles Turner get traded,
Miles is already hurt, so it's already opened the game up a little bit.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like that's gonna be even more shots for this guy.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and I would just love to see Tyrese and Mathurin pick and rolls for the rest of the season. I'm with you on that in the tank.
But I love Paolo. I think he's the best player that was drafted.
Yes, I'm full agreement there. I guess outside of Paolo, the favorite rookie I've seen. This is just like, I think I'm going to put a lot of stock in the Jeremy Sohan of the Spurs. The Spurs have started out a little hot, and Jeremy Sohan looked like he could be the glue guy for the next 10 years. He looks like the perfect glue guy as a big Dorian Finney-Smith guy, as the Mavericks. This guy he's an elite athlete already. He runs the floor beautifully, and how feisty he is on defense.
He played at a really good program at Baylor.
He came out of Baylor.
At Baylor, and so he got some really good experience and playing in the tournament and playing in big games, and he's a hustle guy, has a really nice motor. I mean, he's gonna he's one of these, like, you never are gonna have to question this dude's effort.
No.
Production may not be. I mean, he's just not gonna take that many shots. You know what I'm saying? Like, the most shots he's taken in a game is 9, and he made 7 of those 9, which is great. So it's just like he's shooting the ball well, and the little opportunities he's given. Has not made a 3-pointer yet. So
no, he's been very bad in the half court, but Like I said, I think that's something that can come.
He is 0 for 9 from 3.
Yeah.
Sir, please stop.
Yeah. And I think that's something that can come. But even I said it by the eye test when I first saw him. He has blonde hair right now, and he's wearing the number 10 on the Spurs. I'm like, oh, my. They have Dennis Rodman out there.
Look, he's gotten a steal in every game except for 2. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna play hard. I think he's a good addition to that San Antonio team. I don't think he's gonna be like a all-star or anything like that.
No. But just that's why I called him. He's a glue guy for the next 10 years. He's gonna make a lot of money.
That was a great pick by them, though.
Yeah, he's a guy that can't be in any trades if they keep winning like this. And
right.
I guess we could talk about before we get out of here a team that's been winning a little bit too much as well. Did Danny Ainge fuck up the tank? Did Danny Ainge?
I don't know what's going on over there, bro.
3-0. Laurie Marketing, I called him Laurie Jordan. He looks like 88 Jordan. He's an all-star reserve for sure. He's 22-9 on 45% shooting. I mean, he's not shooting the 3 well yet, and I think that's going to change. That'll take him up a few. No.
Oh yeah, when his 3 ball starts falling, that's when it's really going to be. I mean, he's a big athletic guy with a good jump shot. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I think the Jazz thing is very much first week.
You think it's very fluky?
Very first week.
Yeah, the 10th in offense, that Pelicans game with the comeback was incredible. I mean, Jordan Clarkson. I love this Walker Kessler lineup and Olynyk and Markkanen lineup they throw out.
Let's be real. They lost to the Rockets yesterday.
Yeah.
So they beat the Pelicans by 1, and they beat the T-Wolves by 6. They beat the Nuggets by 11.
The Nuggets win was it for me coming out the gate like that. Right. I was so confident.
But I'm just like, they lost to the Rockets, bro.
Yes. Yeah, this team, I very much think, I'm in agreement with you. I do think it's fluky.
Nobody on the Rockets can get into a strip club. So it's just like, losing to that team is just, I don't know. I got to question what this is. But we'll see. I don't think they made the playoffs.
I think they got a lot of good pieces back in that Gobert trade. Vanderbilt looks amazing. His effort, him on defense, he's very scrappy. That's a guy I want to keep. I wanted to ask you up this team because they still have Conley and Clarkson left. Yeah. Who are you moving for a trade and who are you keeping for the future? Like, does Laurie Markkanen have to go now? Like, is Colin Sexton staying? Who's staying and who has to go?
I think you get more value from Colin Sexton, though.
Then Laurie right now, the 7-footer. And Laurie looks impressive because he looked good last year in his Cleveland.
He does, but I just feel like Colin Sexton was one of those guys that was drafted high.
Yeah.
So GMs just see
the upside still there.
The upside still there. But I don't know. I don't know who you would trade, but I think there's going to be some trades made. I know who they won't trade is Talen Horton-Tucker.
Talen Horton-Tucker, and he looks tubby, but he has been playing – great. Are you just a big former Laker guy, huh? Yeah. Taylor does look good on this unit. I'm a big fan of a lot of these guys. I mean, there's a lot of these guys that could be traded to the Lakers right now.
Yeah. I think this is one of those teams that just finishes like 10th or 11th.
Yeah. I doubt. The Jazz should be. If they're not last, Danny will be pissed.
I could see a contender making a trade for Jordan Clarkson. Towards a trade deadline,
and this team is high on Jordan Clarkson,
right? But I could see like a team in the East that needs a little more scoring either off the bench or just a wing scorer coming for Jordan Clarkson to have that one more guy that can just get a bucket in the half court come playoff time.
I think Mike Conley might be a guy that could be moved. You
think a team still wants him?
He looks a little spry in this beginning, and I think that's when you want to trade high, like.
And he has been in big playoff.
Yeah,
big player, but he's 35. I'm not trading for a guy that's 35 years old. I'm sorry.
No. I just think like a contender when you're getting down the stretch. Like if you're, obviously the Lakers, but if you're Milwaukee and you're looking for another player,
that's what I'm saying. I can see a Milwaukee trading for a Jordan Clarkson.
And I'm even after seeing some Campazzo minutes today as a Mavericks fan, I wouldn't be mad at a Tim Hardaway getting out of there for some.
Really?
I'm not. I think Tim needs to get his legs back. This is not a Maverick spot, but Tim has to get his legs back, and him not playing today. I think, yeah. I wasn't a fan of Campazzo, and I haven't been a fan of Hardaway. Small sample size, so we'll see. This isn't a Maverick spot, but all right, man. we've went all around the league. I mean, this is the cap room. I wanted to get to the cap of the week, and I had some cap of the week. It's been 1 week, but coming out the gate, Cam Reddish had a 22-point game. And
I added him on my fantasy team after that game.
Yes, did you? And it's been terrible since.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you. My cap of the week is Cam Reddish isn't the real deal. Like he just, I think that. I mean, Cam Reddish is the real deal, and that's my cap of the week. And I
don't think he could be a good off the bench player for the Knicks?
I think Cam Reddish could be incredible in this league, but it's always the thing with young players. When's the line gonna be the line? Because I'm big on Cam Reddish because of
when
that.
do we give up on your potential?
Yeah, I'm big on him because of that 2021
when do the ladies finally break up with the dude with the air mattress and the rap dreams that you fund with your tax refund? When do you finally dump that nigga?
And Cam Reddish is exactly that. He is the guy. Remember I don't know if you've ever seen the Ball is Life mixtape.
Cam Reddish got an air mattress, man. That's his game.
He's the guy. You know what I mean? He's the high school dude that peaked too early. Like Cam Reddish is the guy. He has a Ball is Life compilation out where all of the young guys from the class after him, Anthony Edwards included, are saying, "Who's the guy that gave you the most fits?" And I think 90% of the video is Cam Reddish. And you know, there's the clutch meeting he had in high school. But like I said, I'm high on Cam because of the 2021 Bucks series, that 21-point game, 6 threes. I think Cam can be incredible. I just think Tom Thibodeau doesn't trust young guys, and that's why I think he isn't the real deal as long as he's a New York Knick. I would have loved Cam Reddish to be in that Jalen Brunson trade. Again, not a Maverick spot, but I would have just loved it. You know, even seeing it after that first game because he plays 28 minutes the first game. Tibbs gives him 19, 14 minutes in the next 2, and that's where you see him on your bench or your fantasy team the last 2 games.
Right.
Not doing anything because he's not getting the opportunity to, and that's just if Cam Reddish is going to get the opportunity, my bad on the cap. But if I know Tom Thibodeau to be Tom Thibodeau, I'm calling cap on this one. All right. Do you have a cap of the week for us now?
There was a young light-skinned man that hit a big shot for the Phoenix Suns in this first week. Some of you know him as Stephen Curry's brother-in-law.
Yeah. That's why I know him.
Damian Lee. And I'm not saying the brother's not good. He in the NBA. He good at basketball. He's a role player guy. But when he hit that shot and the announcer said, that's why Damian Lee has rings, I instantly had to become a hater. Because why would you say some crazy shit like that?
Why would you say some shit like that?
That's wild.
He
like, you know how lawyers can get disbarred?
Yeah.
That nigga should got disbarred from covering the NBA.
Yeah. Get him out of here. Long time Phoenix.
How much did Lee even play in the playoffs?
He's not even in the 9-man rotation.
That's what I'm saying.
He's not Otto Porter.
And I think that shows you how Phoenix isn't that great. The fact he is in their 9-man rotation.
I think as we're wrapping up, I do think Phoenix is skating by and they're going to be a top 6 team no matter what now.
I think top 6.
Yeah, Booker's playing out of his mind. But the Damian Lee shot, it was against my Mavericks. You know,
so you already was sick.
I was sick. He had made a couple big threes before that. And so it was on par for like, oh, Damian Lee's going to finish us off. So I'm with Cap. I think he'll probably have a couple big more maybe moments in the regular season. I don't think he's a guy that'll be in their playoff rotation come April and May. So, Damian Lee, cap of the week. Sorry, Damian Lee. But happy for you. You did have a big game, and I think there'll be some moments where CP and Book sit out where he'll have some more big moments. But other than that, Damian Lee is the cap of the week.
Yeah,
and
that
I'm
was
with
crazy.
you on that. I like that one.
Are there any games this week that you're excited about?
We were going to do this before Mavs Pels, and I was excited for Mavs Pels, but obviously Zion was out. But I'm just excited. I don't have a particular game in mind right now. I think I want to watch more of the young guys and more of these young teams is going to start tanking soon. I just want to see them when they're trying, giving a lot of effort versus a lot of these people that's going to be contenders come April, June. Do you have a game in mind that you're looking at in the next week?
This Sunday, October 30th, Sunday afternoon game, Pelicans and Clippers. It's I'm I'm trying to see. Is it in LA? Let's see. Yeah, it's at Crypto Arena. It's here in LA. Pelicans at Clippers. I think this could be a big game for the Pelicans. Win on the road in LA early on in the season against a Clippers team that a lot of us really think is going to go the distance once they get their rotations together and everything. So I'm excited to see. Hopefully Brandon Ingram and Zion will be back for this game as well. But I'm excited to see how they match up against the Clippers. I think that'll say a lot about this team, especially defensively, how they match up with them.
Yeah, like I said, I'm going to watch a lot of the young guys, a lot of Magic games. Magic games are going to be my number one priority after the Mavs now. I'm sorry.
I'm so upset.
That's my league pass team, but Mavs play the Nets on on Thursday, NBA TV. I'm very excited about that because I know it's going to be a good bounce-back game. We get to keep those guys in the gutter while, we stay hot. We get ourselves back on rhythm because Christian Wood is the sixth man of the year. I'm sorry to you.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
That's my 6th man of the year for sure.
Yeah.